Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I said, good morning. Oh, thanks. That's so sweet of you. Welcome to Eastside Legal Assistance Program's 2023 Breakfast for Justice. You've made it. My name is David Bestock. I'm so pleased to be your MC this morning. By way of description, I use he, him, his pronouns. And for a visual description, I am a 6-foot-tall white man with brown hair, blue eyes, wearing a suit and tie. So ELAP works throughout King County, and we would like to acknowledge first that King County is the traditional land of the Duwamish tribe and other Coast Salish people, as well as home to the Muckleshoot and Snoqualmie tribes. We recognize them and honor them with our gratitude for their stewardship of this land. So first, let's see who is in the room and awake this morning. If you're an attorney or legal professional, please raise your hand or give a cheer. Yeah. Or both, absolutely. Any judges or clerks here today? Hoot and holler, raise your hand. Yes, okay. Whole table of them over there, look out. Who works for a nonprofit? Raise your hand or cheer. Yes. Absolutely. Bright and early this morning. Government employees, civil servants, or elected officials, where are you at? Yeah. Community members or supporters who I haven't named or you haven't raised your hand yet. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Whatever sector of our community that you come from, we're so glad you're here today. We are here today because civil legal aid changes lives. And we're here because you have the opportunity today to provide a lifeline for someone who needs critical legal help. Our goal today is to raise $200,000 by the end of the hour to support ELAP's critical work in King County. The great news is that we're already off to a great start. Many supporters who couldn't be here with us in person today already made their donations to invest in ELAP's work through this campaign. So let's check the thermometer if we can and see where we're at. We're just over $105,000, so let's hear it for that. We had some folks bright and early this morning already supporting, so that's wonderful. And we're going to officially ask for your gift a little bit later in the program when we announce an exciting match. So to begin our morning's program, I'd like now to introduce ELAP's Executive Director, Jerry Kröon.
Thanks, David. Good morning, man. He's so excited at 7:30 in the morning. I'm not awake yet. I admit it. If it had been I was talking to Stan Keel, our past executive director, earlier this morning. I know, Stan, saying, Stan, what were you thinking? A breakfast? Couldn't have we done cocktails for justice? Couldn't have we done something? But no, we had to do a breakfast for justice. So here we are, years later, and I'm awake. It means a lot to have you here because civil legal aid does matter. And I'd like to make an important round of thank yous to our sponsors who've helped us put this together. First of all, our presenting sponsor, Microsoft. We have premier sponsors of Amazon and Perkins Coie. Thank you. Good. We have event sponsors. We have Susie Myers with Edward Jones, Symetra, T-Mobile, and Wilson Sonsini Foundation. And then one more round of applause for all of our other sponsors, our leadership sponsors, and our champions of justice who are on the screen. As you heard David mention, our goal this year is to raise $200,000. For those people in King County who can't afford an attorney, you're going to hear a little later from our program director about the need and how it's escalating right now. I'll give you one little quick note, though. A year ago, our monthly phone calls, we do about 350 intake calls a month. And right now, we're over 750, and we think we're going to be hitting close to 1,000. So that's where the need is escalated post-pandemic. This is post-pandemic. That's where it's escalated. The other people I'd like to introduce this morning, we do have a number of elected officials here, including the judges who are with us. I'd like them to stand. My-Linh will be talking a little bit later. I'm not going to name you because I always forget somebody, but I'd like all the elected officials to please stand. The next group that I'd like to introduce is our volunteers. You see some people around here who have the sticker Pro Bono Hero, who volunteer in our clinics, the attorneys, but we have hundreds of volunteers every year who help us, and we couldn't do the work that we do without it. One of the big groups that we have right now are our interns, and we have 4 incoming interns from Seattle University Law School. Thank you, Seattle U. We have, and every year we have about a half dozen kids from Interlake High School who come and volunteer with us, and they're great. They're native computer literate kids, and so they fix all of our computers daily for some of us, and it's great to have them there. It's great that they then get excited. We had a volunteer 6 years ago. 6 years ago, My-Linh's daughter, Mira, volunteered with us, went off to college, and is now just graduated this past week from college, so congratulations, and is pursuing a law degree to work in public interest law. The other group that I'd like to have stand up and just be recognized, we can't do our work without our other volunteer organizations, without the other nonprofits. Whether it's legal nonprofits or social nonprofits, we simply couldn't do our work without the intersection of all these organizations. And so the executive directors who are here from those nonprofits, if you would please stand up. Jennifer, you need to put the bacon down and stand up. And so if you, nonprofit, EDs, go ahead, stand up. Thank you. So in one of those executive directors, Jorge Kröon from Northwest Immigrant Rights Project, announced that he is leaving after 15 years. And if you read the newspaper, you know that he has now applied for a new job, which we will find out about here in about 5 months, whether or not he got that job. But thank you for your 15 years, Jorge. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce our staff. We continue to grow. We grow so we can serve more people. And we have this group of people who either phone in. You now can say that positively. They phone it in. They phone in. They Zoom in. And they come in on Tuesdays with us to work. And so I'd like these staff to please stand and be recognized. So thank you again for being here. And now I'd like to actually introduce one of those staff members. I was telling her the other day, I said, well, you got to speak. You're one of my favorite staff members. And she said, Jerry, you say that to everybody. And I went, I know. I have 25 favorite staff members, and you're one of them. Danielle Caldwell is our programs director. What that means is she's the outward-facing person in our organization that manages inside the intake that I told you about, that huge number. She does all the clinics and the workshops, and really is our outside the person who's out there as a spokesperson for us. So she's going to take it away right now, Danielle.
Good morning. As program director, I'm lucky to get to see the impact of our work across all of ELAP's programs. Today, I'm pleased to share a few highlights that remind us why our work here matters in King County. 3/4 of all low-income families in Washington state are estimated to have at least one legal issue per year. That's a staggering need. To resolve those legal issues, it's essential to have access to legal advice and to understand your legal rights. Because the vast majority of low-income community members cannot afford to hire a lawyer, civil legal aid organizations like ELAP fill that critical gap every day. Over the past year, the demand for housing legal help was the highest in ELAP's history. Many COVID-era protections lapsed, and tenants scrambled to prevent themselves and their families from being evicted. Our housing staff attorneys provided personalized legal assistance to more than double the number of renters over the previous year. We also provided monthly legal clinics, partnered with cities to do free housing presentations, and we recently advocated for new laws to protect tenants at the local and state level. 1/3 of the people we serve need legal help because of domestic violence. One of the most important things we do is protect and empower survivors of domestic violence and their children. We do this through the work of our incredibly hardworking staff DV attorneys and through our legal clinics. We also partner with organizations like Mary's Place to ensure the community members they're providing with shelter and housing also have their legal needs met. And our amazing pro bono and contract attorneys help us serve hundreds of more vulnerable people with urgent legal issues every year. I want to close by thanking you for believing in the role of civil legal aid. The need for legal aid in King County is enormous. We cannot do this work without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank you, Jerry. Keep it going for both of them, working hard every day for this important work. So, folks, every single community member deserves access to legal help. That's why we're here. And now is one of the few times we ask everyone to please be quiet. You guys are doing a good job already. But one thing I've learned from the team at ELAP is that domestic violence often intersects with housing and with employment and with parenting and with someone's ability to have control over their own life. So please now turn your full and silent attention to the screen to meet Anna.
My name is Anna, and I'm from Mexico City. I had the opportunity to come here with my ex-partner. He promised me to marry me. He just promised, and he never did anything. Then got pregnant, and then the problems start because he didn't want to pay for the expenses. I am deaf, and he used my love notes for everything. It's like, oh, you can hear, you can make this or that. Also with our business, he put everything under his name, and he was like faking calls, just like I am talking with the accountant, you know. And he's telling me that you can be under this company. I remember the first time he hit me because I was angry with him. It began to be like every day, violence every day. Sometimes hitting, sometimes shouting, sometimes bad words. And it was like in front of the children every time. I couldn't have some help from someone else or just tell someone what was happening to me because he was always there. Then I was so ashamed to tell my parents about the situation, you know. I wanted to call the police a lot of times, but he told me that if I call the police, maybe the police will arrive to my house and take my kids away. He went to Mexico and they canceled his visa. At first, I was so scared because I didn't have anything, but I was happy. We went to the court I asked for my order of protection. He came back. He just started like stalking me, you know. He had access to my iCloud account, so I don't know how, turned off my phone, so I was very scared in my house because I felt that he was coming, you know. So I went to the police. It was the first time I went to the police and asked for help. And they shared with me this list of organizations that help you with these domestic violence cases.
When she initially came to us, we looked over her petition, and it spanned the gamut. It was physical, but then there was also that more often subtle but coercive controlling behavior. Sometimes when people think about domestic violence, that's not always what first comes to mind, but it can be just as detrimental and just as scary for the survivor as some of that overt physical stuff. So when she came to us, she was in the process of trying to renew her protection order, because survivors can go back into court and say, hey, it's been X amount of time, I need this order to not go away. I need it to stay in place, I'm still in danger. There is also this concern that if a protection order is in place and a court declines to renew it, that it does kind of embolden that respondent. If anything, they might even pose more of a danger. And so that's kind of where she was and kind of the worry that we had with her case.
Thanks to this help, I got my order of protection renewal. And also I am fixing a lot of things. Here the things are very difficult, you know, if you don't know about the process.
The more that you do this work, you realize how much of a need there is. They are all mothers or sisters or, you know, daughters of somebody. And so every time you're working with a client, you know that the ripple effect that you're creating is potentially pretty large. And it's more than just that individual. It really is kind of a community-centric idea that we're trying to cultivate.
I am working in my future, you know, and I am working with my kids. I hope they can have this lot of opportunities. I feel that I can do a lot of things, and I have this help from ELAP. I feel free, you know. Right now I feel free.
What a powerful story. We want to thank Anna, and let's just all hold that for a moment. That's such an incredibly poignant reminder of why we're here today. We live in a world where, unfortunately, violence and coercion exists, and we know there will be another community member like Anna who needs legal help next week and another the week after that. But you and we today have the opportunity today to change the trajectory of someone's story. You can empower them with the access to legal help that makes all the difference in how the story ends. ELAP's work matters, and your role in funding that work matters too. So I'm going to tell you how to give in just a moment, but first we have an exciting matching opportunity to announce. ELAP's board of directors, together with a special anonymous donor, want to inspire you to stretch today, so they are offering a match at the $500 level and above. All gifts of $500 and above will be doubled up to $24,000. So let's hear it for the board and our donor for that. That's amazing. Again, all gifts of $500 and above will be doubled up to $24,000. That means if you give $500 right now, it'll become $1,000 immediately. If you give $1,000, it'll become $2,000. So big thanks to the board. That's incredible. Here is how you can give today, folks. You can scan the QR code on your printed program on your table to get our easy giving link. We're going to be giving now, and it's mostly through phone. So if you don't want to give digitally, there will be an option. But you can scan the QR code on your program is one option, or you can text B4J, that's Breakfast for Justice, to the number 44321. So I'm going to do it right now. I'm pulling out my phone. I'm opening the Messages app. I'm typing in the numbers in the to field, 44321. So 44321, and then in the body of the text, I'm typing B4J, Breakfast for Justice, and hitting send, and then boom, it sent me back a link. I'm clicking on that, and I'm on the donate page. So you can scan the QR code. You can text B4J to 44321, and we're asking folks to do that now here in the room this morning. And if online giving isn't your thing, no worries. We do have some paper donation slips. If you prefer to give that way, if you want to wave your hand, I think we have folks who can bring by some slips if they're not already on your tables. And while you're getting ready to give here, keep in mind you can go a step further by becoming a monthly donor today. There's a monthly button on the donate page to turn your donation into a regular commitment to legal aid, and we've heard how important that is here today. So here's how a couple ways your gifts will impact the community, and you can decide on a meaningful amount here while we're talking. At the $2,500 level, you can fund 25 hours of legal help at one of ELAP's free legal clinics. What an impact you'll make with your generous gift at this level. And remember, because of the match, $2,500 would become $5,000. I believe on the donate page, you can enter any amount you want, and if it's above $500, it will be doubled with this match. At the $1,000 level, you're going to ensure that a survivor of domestic violence receives critical legal advice as they seek safety from their abuser. That's the equivalent of $85 per month to provide life-changing legal help. At the $500 level, you'll have the chance to provide 4 community-based groups with free Know Your Rights seminars to their residents or to their members. And remember, for gifts at this level, the $500 level and above, you will be matched up to $24,000. So your $500 can become $1,000 right now. At the $250 level, you can fund a free legal consultation for someone facing eviction from their home. We've heard those numbers are on the rise. You are helping prevent homelessness with a gift at the $250 level. And our final stated level is the $100 level. You'll give a senior or veteran in crisis access to free legal advice at an ELAP legal clinic for only $100. So we hope to see everyone pitch in at a level that's meaningful for you. You've heard of the value of the work. You know the value of the work. That's why you're here. So please give generously this morning. Remember, our goal is to raise $200,000 to fund ELAP's work this year. You're giving right now. There's a QR code on the screen. Check that out if you want to scan, if you haven't yet. Let's check on the thermometer right now and see what you've just done. Amazing. Thank you all. Climbing up above $130,000. That's amazing from where we just were. Thank you to all those folks you can see giving here. I love it. Cassandra gave twice. I love that. That's permission to all of you to give. You gave an amount and then you heard another amount and you're like, I also want to give it that amount. We welcome that and encourage it. And please keep giving throughout the morning. We really want to get to that $200,000 mark. So please continue to give. If you need any assistance, wave me or someone else down and we can come help you out. So thank you to those who have given. Please continue to donate this morning. You're making a difference in your community this morning by funding free legal aid in King County. So we're going to check back on the progress later in the program. But now it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for this morning. State Representative My-Linh is the House Deputy Majority Leader from Bellevue. She is a member of the Civil Rights and Judiciary Committee who has championed legislation to protect renters, support working families, and address gender-based violence. We're thrilled to have her with us today. Please welcome Representative Tai.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? I don't know if you noticed. Here's come the magic. Just to make sure everybody know the magic that's happening on stage right now. I want to start by thanking ELAP for their existence, and those who provide nutrition and heart into ELAP. Thank you. As Kylie introduced, my name is My-Linh Tai. I have many titles, but the one I embrace most has always been, I am a human. Speaking a room full of legal scholars, I feel the need to set forth some disclaimers so I cannot be held in contempt. First of all, I'm not a lawyer. Second of all, I am extremely nervous. It's always difficult to share something that is really personal in the space of public. But if anybody who have been doing some of this work, the work to promote human kindness, those personal stories goes a long way. So today, I'd like to share a little bit with you about myself. Maybe that would help me figuring out why I am the keynote speaker. So I am the first refugee elected to serve in the Washington State Legislature. Thank you. I came to this country in 1983 as a sad and angry 15 years old. After the first week staying with my family's sponsor, the reality set in. I couldn't communicate. As I did not learn English, I spoke fluent French, but I was not in France. What I had with me, packed tight in my heart, was a dream. A dream of becoming a geriatric physician. Very specific. The doctor who only cares for old people. You see, I was raised by my grandparents in a little town setting along the beautiful Mekong Delta in Vietnam. My home, my country then, was in the state of war. Health clinics were scared, and I love my grandparents very much. We were separated when my family left Vietnam to come to the US. I wanted to become a geriatric physician so that I can take care of many kids' grandparents, so that they will never be separated. Simple enough dream for a 15-year-old kid. Then I didn't know anything about the concept of American dream. So I found the definitions of American dream. American dream is the belief that anyone, regardless of where they were born, what class they were born into, can attain their own version of success in a society in which upward mobility is possible for everyone. I don't know about you. I have found some serious questions as I meditate on the description of American dream. in that space, there's this assumption that in our society, there's already separation of different classes of people. In that description, there's already the concept of upward mobility. So where were I in that spectrum? Where do I move up to? What do I move up for? After graduating pharmacy school, I was lost. Who has known or met 22-something years old? As Jerry mentioned, my daughter just graduated college. She is that 20-something years old. And I told her it's perfectly fine to feel lost. And in fact, it's so good to feel lost because it's a big word out there, and to question what you are doing, what's your purpose, is critically important. And that is the beauty of being a human. So as a 22 years old, I needed to find the purpose of my being. So I decided to volunteer in some organization using the knowledge that I have. And one of those knowledge I had at the time was really the gift of language. I remember vividly the day after I filled out all kind of paperwork. So I don't know, ELAP, do you make your volunteer fill out all kind of paperwork? Just saying, being a volunteer is difficult. It's all because of your legal scholars in the room. So the day after I completed paperwork as a volunteer, I got a desperate call to go to a safe house. It's because of your work, I hope you know exactly what a safe house is. There was this tiny woman. Probably, I call her tiny, but she probably is my size. But there was this tiny woman who the social worker told me she has not stopped crying. She came knocking on the door of some stranger, and eventually she was brought to the safe house. 2 days before, and she has not been eaten. She has been crying. She wouldn't stop crying. Nobody understood what her needs were. The only thing they got out of her was she is a Vietnamese, and I can speak the language. You see, there was not, it's not that I didn't know about domestic violence. I left my family in my second year in college. My family of 7, the only thing that remind me of home, because I couldn't stomach my father's abusive behavior toward my mom. We all felt stuck. And I needed to be unstuck. So I left my mom, I left my family, and there I were with this woman who wouldn't stop crying. Here's the oddest thing. This individual in front of me, this human in front of me, is experiencing something so dramatic in her life. But to me, this woman in front of me, who I was called to help, to me, she was my hero. She left. She chose to be unstuck. Years later, I learned about ELAP. I learned about their work supporting domestic violence survivors. Their work about ensuring people, human, to have a home through legal proceedings. So the question I pose for us, the current description of the American dream, is it valid? Is it truly for everyone? Are you who in the room, ask yourself, do you feel that you are the one who achieved the American dream? And do you have your own definitions of what that American dream is? And then ask yourself, who else do you know too wanted to achieve the elusive American dream? Is it elusive? Or should we redefine the American dream? If justice is a doing, I want you to know that you, each and every one of you, are doing it. Thank you for doing justice. Thank you for having me. Please support ELAP.
Keep it going for Representative Ty. Thank you so much for those words and for your commitment to justice. Let's check in, folks, on our thermometer and see how we are doing. $165,000 towards our $200,000 goal. That's pretty good. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you to those folks who are donating. If you want to donate right now, this is happening live. Everyone will get to see your name right now. So if you haven't gotten a chance to donate yet, again, please, we're trying to get to $200,000. The donation window will continue for a few days here, so you can go tell your friends, but we are hoping that everyone in the room this morning can make a donation that's meaningful to them. I see someone waving an envelope, so this doesn't include every donation that we're receiving, but many of them. So please keep giving this morning and share the good word with your friends and family and colleagues as well. So again, the link will remain open until midnight on Monday the 29th. So you do have time to go and tell people in backyard barbecues and over drinks and hikes this weekend, whatever your fancy, that they can also support the incredible work that ELAP is doing. They can also text B4J to 44321, even if they don't get breakfast. And folks, I want to remind you, and I might remind you again because it's important, if your company matches gifts, please don't forget to request that match, and you can contact Alex or other ELAP staff with questions. And now I'd like to introduce ELAP's board president, Meredith Dorrance, to wrap us up. Meredith.
Thanks, David, for making it such a fun and lively morning. And to Representative Ty, your words were so beautiful. Thank you. And so I just wanted to sort of follow on to what Representative Ty, which is that to all of you lawyers in the room, if you don't do pro bono, I will just tell you personally, working individually with clients will be some of the most meaningful work that you do. So, and the Washington State Bar Association recommends strongly that we all do at least 20 hours a year. So I hope that that's something that you can bake into your schedule because it will touch you and change you indelibly. But I also wanted to thank Red Element Studios for that incredibly moving video, and to Anna for sharing her story with us. And the ELAP board doesn't get many opportunities to publicly thank our amazing staff and their dedication to the work that they do every day. And so from all of the board to you, we thank you very much. And I know that many staff members and volunteers participated in making this breakfast happen this morning, but I do want to let you know that Alex Comstock, our development director, really was the driving force behind this. And so Alex, wherever you are, you have our gratitude. Thank you very much. There you are in the back. And thank you to all of you for being here with us this morning. It's so nice to be back fully in person. And I just want to say, you all look fantastic wearing pants with waistbands that are probably giving you some feedback, and real shoes. You look great. And also thank you for being as generous as you can be. And I'm just going to go off script really quickly, which is if everybody could pull out their phones and do another $25. Let's get us a little closer to our goal, please. Come on, you're getting free parking and bacon. Just a little bit more would be great. And I'm going to do that as soon as I get back to my phone, even though I'm feeling a little stretched with the board match. But if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Thank you. And on behalf of the ELAP board and staff, thank you for doing what you can to support our work today. But it really means the most to our clients. And so on behalf of our clients, thank you very much for your generosity and support. And so I hope that we're sending you off on your Thursday with full stomachs and a full heart, knowing that you have done something really wonderful before 8:30 a.m. today. But I also want you to go with a smile in the form of a really bad joke. And this one comes courtesy of my husband, Ken, who is the master of corny jokes. So most of us are familiar with some of the Knights of the Round Table, Sir Lancelot, Sir Galahad. But there was one knight selected specifically to ensure that the table was perfectly round. His name was Circumference. All right, all right, that is all for me. If you... And so stick around if you have a few more minutes, catch up with folks in person, show off your shoes anyway, but thank you very much for being here this morning.
Thank you, Meredith. And inspiring board work to go off script and encourage all these donations. It all adds up, folks. And again, the giving continues through Monday. So thank you all. Look at all these 25. I'm looking at the screen down here. You can't see it, but it's the same thing you're looking at up there. All these $25 donations. Keep them coming. If you want to add a 0 or 2 to that, that's wonderful. If you're feeling extra supportive and supported and generous. So thank you to everyone. Again, my name is David Bestock. I've had a blast with you this morning. It's been a pleasure to be your MC, and I'm just so grateful to you all for the work that you do and in support of ELAP. It's an honor to be here with you. Let's give yourselves one more round of applause for all that you've done this morning. You don't have to go to work yet, and you can stay here for a little bit. So have a fabulous day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.